Hi and welcome back to Rideshare Buddy UK YouTube channel. My name's Kevin, and today I'm not doing a lot of work. I haven't been out much at all for the last few days. I'm only doing 3 or 4 hours just to bring a little bit of money in because I'm trying to kick off a cold. So I'm only going to be out for a few hours today. It won't be a full shift video, but what I want to look at is how accurate Uber timings are on the jobs and the job offers, because let's switch on the handbrake, because I use timings a lot now rather than the mileage. So I want to make sure when I see a job which says a total time of say 28 minutes, I want to know if that's actually 28 minutes or whether there's sort of undercutting on the time when they promote the job. So I want to see just how accurate it is, and then I'll check after I've done the job. I've got an old phone where I'll use a timer to record the actual time for the job, and then after that I'll check to see how much time Uber actually charges on your account for it. So it's the estimated time we'll check, and actual time we'll check. I will check it against a stopwatch timing of doing the job. Now, active time with Uber is the moment you accept a job to the moment you drop off your passenger. It's not from pick up to drop off, it's from acceptance of job to drop off. So that's what I'm going to do today. It's a little bit late, it's 2:45. I'm just trying to kick this cold off, so I may go out maybe 2-3 hours. I might take a break and come out and do a bit later. Don't know. But let's just see how accurate these timings are, because it's important for me for making sure I pick jobs that pay correctly, especially with minimum wage going up in April. Uber won't increase fares, so the only way you're going to keep that differential between what you should be earning and national minimum wage is by really cherry picking jobs and make sure you only pick jobs which pay well. Otherwise you're going to drop really right down to minimum wage levels, and I don't work for minimum wage. So that's it, that's for today. Let's get started and we'll see what happens with our first job. Just get my phone set up. Yes, I've got my timer ready to go. Newport is in a deep red surge, so I should get a job fairly soon. I'll just have to see if it's worthwhile or not. Looks like it's Nash College area of Newport, which is in surge, which would probably be about right, 10 to 3. The college is kicking out. Not always worth going over there though, because the traffic is horrendous. Although it would be a good time to test out the timings. So I've just had job pinged in Newport Station to Chepstow, 5 minutes away. Yeah, that's no problem. And it's an 18-mile trip. This is a problem. It doesn't say how long it's going to take. It will at the end, but let's get a stopwatch started and we'll compare the time to what actually happens. So let's get up to a railway station for this one out to Chepstow for £22. Okay, so I've done that first job out to Chepstow. Good. Okay, so that's the first job done out to Chepstow. And took me 32 minutes, 46 seconds. So it should be around that time, hopefully, on the trip. Let's have a quick look. So on the earnings report, it, it says it took 27 minutes 6 seconds. So that's about 5 minutes, unless that's the actual trip. Sorry, that's the actual trip, and the journey time to the trip is added on separately. I don't know. Let's have a quick look at. Let's have a look at my daily. Yeah. Yeah. On my drive time for the day, it's 33 minutes, which is pretty much because there's going to be a few seconds out between clicking on the start trip and starting up the timer. So it's going to be a little bit difficult checking each one against each other because they don't include the journey time to the trip on your job report. They're just adding on to the drive time. Have a watch of that. What I'll do next time is I'll set the timer and do a cumulative travel time or driving time on the stopwatch and compare it to the drive time on the Uber app. But it's a shame, really, that they don't include that drive time to the job. Let's go to the job details. Yeah. No, it's not included. That's a shame. But let's, I'm over in Chepstow. I'll head back to Maiga way. Might pick up work around Maiga. That's when we come into our main area. Not going to get anything in Chepstow. I've had a quick look on the opportunities to see if there's any bookings. Because we do quite a lot of bookings out of Chepstow and Caldecott region. Out to airports and things like that. Nothing on the opportunities. So there's nothing to wait around for. Chance of getting jobs coming out is pretty much zero. So let's head off to Mega Services and see if we can start to pick up a trip out from there. Now, one of the things I like about this car, which I've discovered, is sports mode. On the gearbox, quick flick across, and you go into sports mode. Now, it's no N series, certainly not as quick as that, but it's pretty quick off the mark. Because when you go to sport mode at an island where you put your foot down, you get that instant pickup that you get with EVs and you don't get with the petrol. So if you're in normal eco mode or normal drive mode, there's a little bit of lag like any other normal car, and to get away from the road junction or the island. But when you're in sports mode, the battery is what takes it, and it's instant, and it really does pick up a fair bit of speed, and it really does let you pull out of traffic very, very quickly. So sadly, my fuel consumption is dropping, as I find sports mode really entertaining to drive in. But yeah, it's alright, sports mode. Nice car. Coming back to that no rear windscreen wiper, I think when I had a thought about the car, I said it would really drive me crackers. It hasn't. You know, rarely notice that there's no rear windscreen wiper. The windows stay fairly clear in the rain, so it's not an issue. Actually, nothing really is an issue in this car at all, really. Very nice. Loving the heated seats in these cold mornings. Got rear heated seats as well, which the passengers like, and heated wipers. So, heated wheel. So that's quite nice. You can get very lazy though, because it's got adaptive cruise control with keep lane. So on the motorway, you can switch on the switch, and it basically self-drives. You're in self-drive mode, because it's adaptive cruise control keeps pace if the vehicle in front brakes when it brakes and the like, and the steering stays on track in the lane. It's not as good as Tesla's self-drive, which will overtake for you. You have to overtake yourself. But apart from that, yeah, it's real easy to drive on a motorway, because switch on the cruise control, and lane assist, well, lane keep. Away you go. No problems at all. But work is beginning to pick up this week. Even I haven't done many hours because I'm trying to kick off this cold. It's been steady, it's been good. There's been some a fair bit of work coming out. Yesterday dropped down a bit, but Monday wasn't too bad at all. Tuesday was okay. Well, yesterday was okay. Well, dropped down a bit, not as good as Monday. Last week wasn't bad at all. I only did 5 days last week, and I did 6-7 hours a day, so over 5 days, so it took about 39 drive time hours, and I did over 750. So that's okay for early January. You can't complain about that. So Uber does seem to be holding a little bit of work during this off time. Let's see how hopefully you'll carry on doing so. Right, I've just been looking at some of the jobs that's been pinging through. I haven't taken any because I'm too far away, but they don't have the estimated time of the trip anymore. They used to, I'm sure they used to, but they've just got the miles now. So today's task of checking how accurate the estimates are don't work anymore. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to keep a running total of my my journey times, and then we'll check against drive time at the end of the shift to see how accurate the two tie up. But I'm sure at one time they used to have the time, estimated time to get to the customer, and also the estimated time of journey. Now they've got the estimated time to the customer and then the miles of the journey, which makes it rather difficult to try and estimate whether it's going to be worthwhile doing the job or not. But that's, I suppose, is what road knowledge is all about, and knowing your job. You've got to be able to estimate journey times quite well. Well, I've just done a quick job from Tesco's at Spitty down to Alway for £4.60, something like that. And I've got to follow my job now down to pick up at the Cauldre Hotel. I think it's going into town, but I'm not sure, up to the railway station, but we'll see. What I'm going to do, because I can't do these testing of individual jobs, I'm going to work as normal until I've had enough. And then what I'll do is I'll look at my online time. You know, I'll start at 2:45 and we'll see how long I'll work for. Then we'll have a look at my drive time on the Uber app, and we'll compare that to the drive time on my stopwatch and see how they all compare, and see what sort of jobs I've been doing, stuff like that. But the reason why I do 2 till 6 normally is because there's very little dead time in that. You're always sort of running on from one job to another, so there's very little dead time. So normally you're talking about 70% active time, the online time. So that's what I would do anyway. Other people might find it different depending on the area that you work in. But that's what it is. I'm off to Cauldre for this £9.70 job or something like that. And we'll see how that goes. They said that was a £9.60 job up to the railway station, and had a straight on pickup job at the station down to Peel, and now I'm on another local Peel, which I'm going to pick up at. I'm going to have to think about what I'll do for the station. It's getting quite regular now, whereby I'm taking people up to the station and I'm having passengers waiting for me at the station, and they try and jump in the car before my previous passengers have gone out. So it's causing a bit of a log jam. So I think what I'm going to do in future, if I've got a passenger waiting to jump in the car, as I pull into the railway station, I'm going to drop people off at the disabled parking area, and then drive around the little island to pick up the passengers. And hopefully, even if they try and run across to me as I drop it off, I've got the time to say, can you hold on a minute? Just drop it off. So that could hopefully sort that problem out. But yeah, it's nice to have those sort of run-on jobs, even if they're quite low priced, because there's no dead mileage, no dead time. There's just not enough of them, that's all. But let's get on with this job and see how the evening takes. It's 22:05, so I've been out just under 2 hours, and I've got 43.75 on the clock. I'm a happy bunny, I really am. Right, that last passenger didn't turn up. I waited 2 minutes, cancelled out for 3.50. It was only a 4.50 job anyway, so I've only lost £1 on it. And I've got to run a job less than a mile away to pick up, and that's a 5.60 job. So let's head off and do this one down at Pottery Terrace. Okay, so I had that, I think it was a £5 job up to the railway station, and then I had an immediate pickup from that was Peel to railway station, just over a £5, 5.50, something like that. And then I got pinged with an immediate pickup at the station out to St Julian's. That was about £4.50, something like that. And now I'm on my way down to St Julian's for another part of St Julian's for about another 4.50 job. So it's all ticking along quite nicely. The time's 5:15, so that's 2.5 hours I've been out, and I've got 56.57 on the clock, and this £4 job which I'm on my way to. Okay, so that was a trip from the bus station down to St David's by Tredegar, which is around, I think it was around £6.90, something like that. And now I'm going to go straight down to the IPO, Intellectual Property Office, the government buildings down at Tredegar, for a 7.80 job. I think it's coming up to the station, but don't quote me on it. We'll see when we get there. Right, I dropped off those young lads down at the Reed Dad Brewery, and I had a run-on job to go to, picking up at Chepstow Road, coming out to the Nash Power Station. And this is a massive place. I've dropped off, but I don't know how to get back out. So I'm hoping that Waze is going to get me off here, because there's a maze of roads and it's an enormous place. But let's get back. That was for a tenner. That was out to Nash, so that was quite a nice little 180 to the country. The time's 22:07, so it's 20:07. I might work up to about 7:45. Yeah, I'll remember these railway tracks. I might work to about 7:45, and I'll give me 5 hours, which I think is enough for how I'm feeling at the moment. This is one of the issues with being a Uber driver. You don't have duvet days. You don't have paid sick. Not only do you not earn any money when you have a day off because you meal, you've also got your costs that you got to recover. Let's see if yes, it's going up. So £44 a day it costs me to rent this car. If I have a week off ill, I don't just lose my £700 earnings, I have to pay out £220 a week in costs. That's going to carry on. So it's, even though I haven't been feeling great, I have been coming out doing a few hours just to try and recover some of that cost. One of the things I like about, I mean, even if I didn't rent a car and I purchased a car, you've still got your loans to pay on the car, you've still got your insurance to pay on the car, so you're still doing it that way. The thing is, why I go for rental is I'm 61. If I have a serious illness which takes me off the road for a few months, I could just hand the car back, and that's the end of it. I've only got to give 7 days notice, and that's a very big sort of good for my mind, my mental place. Whereas if I bought a car, you've still got those commitments, even if you're off the road for 2 or 3 months. So that's why I like to rent. It's all tax deductible, very short term, hand back notice, and you've got no long term commitment. So that's good from that point of view. Another thing I've got to be careful of at the moment is I have about 4 weeks operating costs in reserve. That's my sort of emergency reserve. So I can go for 4 weeks and all my costs are covered, and I don't have to start it in my savings. And that's for things like illness, like today or this week. But I've not used that option for this week because the bad weather's on the way. And if it starts to snow and I'm off the road for 2 weeks, I want to make sure I've got a full emergency fund to call on until the weather picks up. So that's why I've come out for 2 or 3 hours a day just to top up, just to add a little bit of money. I've been doing, 4 hours I did on Monday, and I did over £100. I did 3.5 hours yesterday, I did £90. I'm going to try to do 5 hours today. I should do over £100. So I've got my costs covered, and that's good. So let's just stop talking and get back to work. So I'm in Nash. Temperature is -2. -2, can you believe that? And let's open up Uber. I can shut off Waze now. I've got so it's 7:15. Started at 2:45. So 4 hours, and I've got 87.25 on the clock. Now I've dropped down a bit from my £25 an hour I was doing earlier because of rush hour. It really does kill your hourly rate, rush hour does, which is why I only do 1 rush hour a day. I won't do both morning and evening because it just brings your hourly rate just crashing down. If I was an early bird, I think I would probably work from 4 in the morning through till 10 and call that my day, 6 hour day. But I'm not an early bird, I'm a night owl. So I do 2 in the afternoon through till 8 on the evening. That's my 6 hour shift. So 1 rush hour a day is enough, otherwise your hourly rate really drops, because that rush hour is really 2 hours where you struggle to move because of traffic. Right, so just a quick toilet break at Morrison's, and I'm now on my way to do a £5.20 job from Nash College. So heading over to Nash College now. Well, nobody showed up for that one. So I put in for a cancellation and got me £3.50 cancellation fee. So, and I've just picked up another job for £5. Just got to try and figure out where it's going to, that's all. Hold on a minute, let's get around this island. Get up from Malcolm Sergeant Close for a £5 job. Right, that was a quick £5 job down to Commercial Road. I've got a job to run on to now back at Nash College, different person, so hopefully she'll be there. That's another £5 job. It's 7:30. This job should take me up till 7:45, which is about time to call it a day, and should also take me just over £100. So that's a good 5 hour session. And then we'll pull up after I've done this job and do some figures and see how it went. Okay, so that's it. Shift is finished. The time's 10 to 8. I dropped time at 1:45, so that's a full 5 hours shift I've done today. So I finished with, oh, there we go, can we see it? £101.19. If you look at it, in that 5 hours, I've done 3 hours 49 minutes drive time or active time. So that's not bad. That's about 78%. Probably about 78-79% active time from being online. That's not too bad at all, really. This is why you've got to choose your hours carefully, because if you don't, and you catch a quiet time, you're finished, really. It's you're down to 50% active time, and that's no good. So on my stopwatch, it says 3 hours 57, which is about 8 minutes out compared to the Uber. And that's because I forgot to switch off when I dropped the last passengers off. And it takes about 6 or 7 minutes to drive from the Potter's Bar back home, open the gates and bring the car in. So it's about right, drive time and my own calculations is all about right. To be honest with you, I wasn't expecting a difference, because you've got to realise this is the UK, it's not in America. Now, you can watch a lot of YouTubers in America talking about being ripped off, having money shaved off, hours missing and things like that, tips going missing and into the payment, and payment drops if you get a tip. Now, that's in America. It doesn't happen in the UK. And that's because there's a big difference. In the UK, Uber is a taxi company which is heavily regulated. In America, Uber is a rideshare company with very little regulations. Some city ordinances are started coming out to regulate it, but generally, rideshare is completely different in America to rideshare in the UK. Rideshare in the UK comes under private hire and legislation and stuff like that. So Uber has to be very careful what they do. They can't get away in the UK with what they can get away with in America. Uber have lost their licence, had their licence suspended in London a few years ago. So local authorities are prepared to suspend Uber if they do naughty things. They'll not be classed as a fit and proper person, and if they lose their licence, they lose your job. And that also means Uber in the UK can't bully local governors or local government as much as it can in America. Because in America, Uber relies on a constant churn of new people coming in. These people don't need to be vetted, they don't need to be insured, they can use their own car, Uber covers the insurance, no regulations, anybody can drive basically. Whereas in the UK, drivers have to go through tests, have to be vetted, have to have medicals, have to be registered and licensed with a local authority. So in America, Uber can quite easily say, well, you do it my way or we'll just pull out of your city and your city will have no Ubers. Because really there is only the Uber app for rideshare in America. If you try and do that in the UK, local governors will say, go on then, because all that will happen is that the drivers will just transfer to another local taxi company and customers will just use local taxis because that's all Uber is. It's a local taxi company. And if they're closed down, other taxi companies are there to pick up the slack and drivers will just move from one to the other. So there isn't that constant churn of new drivers coming in the UK. It is restricted. It may not seem that way. You may think there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of new drivers coming on, but they've all got to be vetted, and it's nothing compared to America, where you can just walk out your door, fire up your phone, jump in your car, and be an Uber driver. So I think Uber in the UK and in Europe generally play a much fairer game than they do in America. So I have no problems. I never expected anything else. I thought it would come down to being pretty accurate. So that's it. So £101 on 5 hours. I'm going to knock off my car cost, which is £44 a day. I've used about £6 worth of petrol, not quite the tenner that would normally work, because I've only done five hours today. So that's £50 off 101. Let's say I made £50 profit on 5 hours is £10 an hour. Not quite minimum wage, but that's because I've only done a 5 hour shift, so my fixed cost, the car, is a much higher percentage of my take. If I did another couple of hours, I'd be well over minimum wage. I'd be clearing £13 an hour, something like that. But as it is, I did 5 hours, so I'm happy. It's January, 5 hours, very short shift, and I've walked away with £50 in my pocket. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. So until next time, happy driving, and bring in that money.